Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, thank you for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Okay, so first of all, before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who left comments in my previous vlog video asking for suggestions for Sebastian's dry skin. You guys gave lots of good recommendations, and I'm definitely going to check a lot of them out. Some of them I have tried before, but I may revisit them and give them another go. But thank you guys for all your suggestions. Okay, so in today's video, I want to dive into the issue of racism amidst all the drama and scandal that has come out since Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did their interview with Oprah. I thought, you know what, this would be a good time to talk about the subject of racism. It's definitely something that I've experienced living in Australia for over 30 years. I've definitely got some experiences that I can share with you guys, and I want this to be a safe space for you guys to share some of your experiences, if you've had any, and yeah, just for us to have a conversation down in the comment section. For those of you who don't know, I came to Australia in 1988, which was well over 30 years ago. I think 34, 36, 37, 34 years ago. I'm 37 now. When I came to Australia, I was 4, just about to turn 5. Started my whole schooling life here, which was the beginning of my experiences with racism. Now, as far back as I can remember, growing up in Australia, I've always been an advocate for being black and proud. I've never shied away from my culture. Very proud Ghanaian, as most of you will know. And any chance that I was given to, display how proud I was definitely doing that. And I remember very clearly, in my especially university days, I was definitely like encouraging, to embrace being black and proud, because there is a little bit of conflict, internally, where a lot of Africans who migrate to Australia just want to assimilate and kind of fit in with the culture here, but as a result of that, they often denounce their blackness or their African heritage and culture and try to be, as white or Caucasian as possible. So they don't want to speak their language. They don't want to dress in any way that shows that they're African. Even with their accents, they really try and speak with an Australian accent. And obviously I understand, because, when you come here, you do want to fit in. However, I don't think that's ever a reason to denounce your culture, your heritage, your background. So yeah, this has been something that has been a part of me, inside of me since I can remember. I've always kind of moved through the world and moved through different spaces, embracing my differences and knowing that it was my differences that set me apart and made me special. And I never let anyone's judgment of me, or if they looked down on me or thought a certain way about me, I never let that affect who I was, because I was very self-assured of who I was. And I have to say that definitely comes from my upbringing and how my parents raised me and my siblings. They definitely instilled, confidence, and for us to be proud of who we were. Okay, so at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, when the tragic death of George Floyd happened, I did share on my Instagram in a post, some of my experiences, growing up in Australia, and like I said, the racism that I've experienced. And I'm just going to talk a little bit more about it in this video. Now, I've got 4 experiences that I wanted to share with you guys. But yeah, like I said, I'm just sharing this because I know a lot of you can probably relate, and for you guys to also share some of your experiences in the comment section. Okay, so the first experience is when we first moved to Australia. We were living in Melbourne, and I was the first black student in this private Christian school. I was 5 years old. I just turned 5, started school. Couldn't speak English that well. I actually learned English living in Australia because I came from Ghana at the age of 4. I was speaking our native language, and then I learned English when I started school here. So this first experience, there was one girl in particular who was always calling me monkey on the playground. Every day, monkey, monkey, monkey. I'm sure a lot of you have had that experience where someone has referred to you as a monkey. But I was 5 years old then, so this girl just kept on giving it to me every day with the word monkey. And I would tell the teacher and the teacher wouldn't do anything about it. So one day I went home and I told my mum that, there's this girl at school who's always calling me monkey. And my mum said, my mum, no filter to this day, she said, if she calls you a monkey, call her a pig. So the next day I went to school, the girl called me monkey, I called her pig. What happened? She started crying. Keep in mind, all these times that she called me monkey, I never cried. I just didn't understand why she kept on calling me a monkey, because I knew I wasn't a monkey. So yeah, she cried, reported me to the teacher. The teacher called my parents and said they had to come in for a meeting because of what I said to this girl. So when my parents came in, my mum was very quick to check the teacher and let her know, all this time my daughter has been, reporting to you, coming to tell you that this girl has been calling her monkey, 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 and you have never done anything about it. She calls her a pig once and you call us in. She checked the teacher properly and left her, pretty much speechless. Yeah, checked the teacher. The girl never bothered me again because obviously she didn't like being called a pig. So I never had an issue again with that girl calling me a monkey. Okay, so the second experience was also in primary school. As most of us little black girls, African girls experience, when you're in school, your mum probably, braided your hair for the school term or the school semester, so you're not fussing with your hair every day. Very normal for us black folk. So yeah, one holidays my mum did my hair. She put it in braids for me to wear to school during the term. Now when I got to school, keep in mind this was primary school, my teacher said I had to get the braids removed because it was considered an outrageous hairstyle according to the prospectus or whatever it's called that has the rules and guidelines for attending the school. They said my hairstyle was outrageous. I went home and I told my mum, my dad, oh, the teacher said I have to remove my braids because it's an outrageous hairstyle. Next day, my dad went to the school, went to see the teacher. Actually, I think he went to the principal's office because my dad was really, really upset about it. He, had a meeting with the principal, and in that meeting, he told the principal, the way my daughter has her hair done is a part of our culture. She will not remove it. She cannot remove it. She cannot remove these braids in her hair the same way you cannot remove these freckles off your face. Done. They never bothered me about my braids again. Love my dad to bits. Also a straight shooter. He doesn't mince his words. So that was my second experience in primary school. Okay, so the third experience is when I was now in high school. I think I was in year 11 or 12, so just about to finish high school. Now I attended a public high school, student population about 1,500, so it was a fairly big school. Now, every year at the end of the year, you have awards night and those types of, end of year events. And as always, very normal that we would be called for an assembly where they'd go through, some of the things that we needed to remember for awards night, speech night, that kind of thing. And now there was this one particular teacher, I'll never forget her, an old white woman. Yeah, like old, like she'd been teaching for maybe 30 plus years at that particular school, very set in her ways. So she's talking about the uniforms and she was talking about, uniform presentation on the night. So she was like, okay, girls, you can wear skin color stockings, but no nigger brown stockings. Wait, what? No nigger brown stockings. I was the only black student in the whole assembly. So if we're talking about skin color, what does it matter if it's a lighter skin color or a darker skin? But she specifically said no nigger brown stockings. I remember it like it was yesterday. So obviously everyone in the assembly kind of turns to me, shocked by what they had heard. I'm like dumbfounded that I'd actually heard what I heard. So no nigger brown stockings. She finishes off whatever she's saying. Assembly's over. My friends come to me, asking me, are you all right? I can't, oh my gosh, like they could not believe that she had said that. So a few of them accompanied me to the principal's office because obviously I'm going to report what had happened. And this teacher in particular was not a nice teacher. She was a math teacher, not a nice teacher at all. So they walked me to the principal's office. I went in and I told the principal what had happened. So the principal calls the teacher in, and she honestly tried to say that in the school prospectus again, the brown stockings were referred to as nigger brown or something along those lines, which I was still dumbfounded that she was sticking to what she said. She really didn't find anything wrong with it. Anyway, fast forward, she ended up having to apologize to me. She was crying, and I know for a fact those tears were not because she was sorry for what she said, but because she was an old racist white woman who was set in her ways about what she felt about black people, and she had to come down off that high horse and apologize to me. I know that was the only reason she was crying, but you know what? She kept her job. But yeah, that was a crazy experience in high school. And then the last experience was when I finished uni. And I was now teaching at a private school. So as most of you may or may not know, I'm actually a music teacher by profession. That's what I studied at uni. I was teaching primary music. Now, when I first got the job at the school, I was replacing a teacher, once again, who had been there for like 20, 30 years, was basically teaching whatever she wanted regarding music, but it wasn't in line with the curriculum and what was required, you know, by the state for students to meet all their academic goals throughout primary school. So when I came in, I actually wrote the curriculum from scratch. So from prep to grade 6, I wrote every single lesson for every unit, for every term. It took me, I think, a whole year to actually write the curriculum and, you know, have it in a way that would actually benefit the students. So when they went through the program from prep to 6, it would actually prepare them for music in high school, which was the whole point, because what was happening was students were coming through the primary school program but not learning what they needed to. So when they got to high school, they weren't doing well in music because it wasn't linking from primary to secondary. So I came in and wrote the curriculum again, and one of the elements that I, you know, incorporate into the curriculum now was, you know, singing and performance, because obviously when you're doing music, it's not just the theory, it's also a lot of performance. So I thought it was very important for them to start that at an early age, from the age of 5 in prep, you know, with simple little performances, and then as they get older, it gets a little bit more complex, but nothing that, you know, the students couldn't do, because everything was set for their appropriate level. And another big reason for me wanting to incorporate performance was I wanted students to, you know, get comfortable in front of their peers, especially where performance was concerned, because that was another big thing. You know, when you're in school, you don't want to stand up and perform in front of your friends because it's not cool or you're not confident. I wanted to get rid of that. So starting early from prep, by the time they got to grade 6, they were confident enough to be able to just stand up and say, yep, I'm going to give it a go, and it wasn't a big deal. That was the whole point as well, because in high school there was a lot more performance-based assessment. Now, I was met with so much resistance from parents, it was unbelievable, to the point where they wrote me letters. They called in and complained to the principal, the deputy, and the whole reason for their complaints was I was degrading their children by making them stand up and perform in front of their peers. And I actually was pulled into the principal's office and they addressed me about it. And I had to actually defend why I had included performance in a music curriculum when I was at that school just as qualified as any other teacher. I did a 5-year degree, I had the proper qualifications, and there was no reason for anyone or any parent to question why I was doing what I was doing from a curriculum standpoint. And that was absolutely crazy, because I actually had to defend what I was qualified to do. Yeah, I will never forget these experiences. All these experiences have, you know, shaped me and made me who I am. They've made me stronger, more resilient. None of these experiences would ever make me, you know, shy away or shrivel up and not be proud of being Black, because, you know, I've been challenged in so many ways throughout my life. So yeah, it's been a crazy 30-something years here in Australia. Obviously, it's getting better, but there's still a lot of, racism here, and a lot of it stems from ignorance. People are just not willing to learn about other cultures and other races. So any opportunity I get to educate, I will do that, because I'm tired of hearing, oh, you must be happy to be living in Australia because you're coming from a war-torn country. No, I'm coming from Ghana, which is one of the most peaceful countries in Africa. I'm trying to get back there. I'm trying to move back there. I just use any opportunity to teach and educate people when they ask ignorant questions or they display ignorance. Yeah, so there's some of my experiences growing up in Australia, where the issue of racism is concerned. Like I said, I would love to hear what some of your experiences are where you live in the world. I know a lot of you are in the UK, the US, Canada, other parts of Europe, so I'm sure you've experienced something. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also press the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!